So you guys are going to see a breakdown of this build, and there's going to be clips played in the background while I'm talking about what is going on with measured assembly. There's some do's, there's some don'ts. I want to say that this is not scripted at all, so this is just basically me talking. So bear with me on this one. It's not final measure. This is not final measure from Division 1 because there's a lot of things that I had to put into this. And this is a nerf version of final measure. I tweeted about it on Twitter, basically complaining to developers because they had to do one thing right and they did not do it. This does not give your team a buff. But the way I have it set up is going to give your team the buff that they need to survive in PVE and PvP. You need to stay out of the way. I want to say that. As a healer, stay out of the way. Stay back, stay mid-range, medium, in between your team. Let your tank push, let your DPS, you need to stay with the DPS because you're going to benefit from being by players, of course. You're going to go overcharge. Now, let's talk about the pieces that is on this, the set bonuses. So 2-piece of measured assembly is going to give you 15% skill haste. The 3-piece is going to give you 60% repair skills and 40% explosive resistance. So you're going to be sitting at like a total of 95. Just to say that, going to PvP, you're going to lose 10% of your explosive resistance. So make sure you build for PvP, and that's conflict only. In the DZ, you're perfectly fine. Now, will this build work phenomenal in the DZ? I think it will. I think it will survive a bit longer in the DZ because there's a lot of cover and places for you guys to bunker down. And the way I have this set up is going to supply your team the buffs that they need. Now, we put Survivalist on this, and I think that Survivalist is the best way to utilize this because it has 2 buffs that's going to be beneficial for your team. Survivalist has a armor kit that you can supply to your team, and we combine that armor kit with Perfect Efficient. So using the armor kit has a 75% chance to not consume the armor kit. Specialization armor kit bonuses are increased by 50%. Requires 10 seconds to arm talent. Now, what does that mean? Whenever I pop my kit near my teammates and their armor getting low, I'm going to heal them over time. And they're going to be able to face tank within that moment, and I probably can get off multiple kits at the same time. So that's going to be something useful in PvP and also PvE. I use this build in District Union and push those guys through. Randoms, of course. We all were solo, and I helped them get the job done that they needed to do. And they applaud me for it, the way I have this set up. Now, the other buff that you're going to get is any enemy that's underneath a status effect, which is why we combine this with the Scorpio shotgun, because whenever we apply a status effect on an enemy, my teammates is going to do 10% extra damage to that target. So this is great for PvE and PvP. A secondary weapon can be any weapon of your choice. We went for a Carbine 7 with Future Perfect. Now, with this weapon, which you probably won't use most of the time because you're going to be using the Scorpio a lot, Future Perfect on it, weapon kills grant +1 skill tier for 15 seconds. Now, that stacks up to 3 times. Weapon kills at tier 6 grants overcharge for 15 seconds. Now, you can always be overcharged if you're getting the kill. And overcharge cooldown is 90 seconds. So it's entirely up to you what you choose to run. But the weapon that you're going to use the most is the Scorpio because of the effects that it adds to the target so your team can constantly get that damage buff. Target's going to take a 20% additional damage from all sources. And duration of the status effect is based on the percentage of pallets hit on applying shots. So that's 20% extra damage that your team is going to do to that target. That's some good damage. Plus the 10% damage that you get from Survivalists. So that being said, this is a great setup to start off with. That's 30% damage that you will be doing to an enemy underneath a status effect. So your teammates that are DPS or, running tank DPS, whatever, they're going to be doing tons of damage on top of that already and still getting more damage output from you basically applying these debuffs to those targets. So now the fourth piece bonus of measured assembly says receive +1 skill tier for each ally agent that is within the range of you. Hive or smart cover while at skill tier 6. Having at least one ally agent in the range of your hive or smart cover for 4 seconds will grant overcharge for 15 seconds. Now, there's a 40-second cooldown with that. And it also says mortars and enemy skills that enter the range of your hive or smart cover will be destroyed. Cooldown is 10 seconds. The cooldown is 20% faster for each ally agent within range of your hive or smart cover. So that means you need to make sure whenever you place your smart cover, it needs to be between your teammates. Your hive is always going to be between the teammates, but let's say you got one teammate a bit further out. Make sure you shoot it in a good spot so it can hit all three of them. That's going to help you out a lot. And make sure you choose the smart cover that's beneficial for what you're doing in such content. If that's PVE and PvP, choose the correct one. Both are good, but choose which one that benefits you. So we're also using the healer hive, as you guys can see. The healer hive is doing fantastic heals in PvP and PvE. So you're healing for 433,000, and then PvP healing is 264,000. It's not bad at all. You're gonna have plus 24 repair charges, so you're gonna be sitting at 32. Just to let you know, 120% healing, 60% range, 60% drone speed, 420 health. Now, if you were running technician, you probably can expand the circle a lot, but we just put our healing mods in. This is what we have: 5% healing, 5% range, and 5% duration. That's what we're going with. Now, I don't have that many mods for my smart cover, and you can't craft them, so they just drop randomly when you're farming Brooklyn. You get lucky to get one. I got lucky to find one that's 5.5% duration, of course, so hopefully we'll find another good one. Now, these are the roles that we have on measured assembly. For our mass, we have repair skills, and then we have a 19.5% incoming repairs just to get additional incoming repairs for ourselves quickly. Helps out a lot. We have repair skills with a repair skill mod. I know they're not max because I just didn't feel like taking off my max 20 repair skills on my other gear. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I have 20 right there on the little birdie. So it's there. I have another 20 on the chest plate and another 20 on the mask. I just did not feel like changing it, but you definitely want to go for 20% repair skill mods or whatever repair skill mods that you have. And by me not changing it, pretty much shows you that this works. I'm sitting at 219 repair skills, which is probably a bit overkill, but it's important to have a lot of repair skills. And the reason for that, so your charges don't get chewed up by your teammates because they're not running anything healing wise on their gear. So, which is why it's very important for you to have repair skill rolls everywhere. So repair skills helps you slow that down so it can heal them for the correct amount and not drain your hive extremely fast. Now, for our knee pads, we have repair skill roll there, as you can see, and our holster, we have repair skill roll there. That's the way you want to have that set up. Our chest plate is explosive resistant and repair skills. It's not maxed out, and as you guys saw in the video that's playing in the background, it did phenomenal. Now, I'm going to max this out later on. I just did not because I was trying to get the video out for you guys, and just I'm working around with this stuff, trying to get it together. Once I max the chest plate out, still going to work just as fine. The repair skills are probably going to go up a bit more, but 219 is great already. So probably a bit overkill, and we got a repair skill mod right there too. Now, for our gloves, we're using the BTSU gloves. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have these gloves, and they're probably sitting in your stash, or you just didn't know how to use them and what to do with them. Now, like I said, this video is a bit long, and I'm sorry, man. But with the BTSU gloves, It's very important to have these gloves on because this is going to help your skills come back faster. There's a 33-second cooldown on your smart cover. That's a long time when you're in clutch situations, right? Because you're going to need it, especially in PVE or PvP, depending on what you're doing. That's going to give you the extra immunity that your team needs. That's resistance for explosive resistance, bleed resistance, blind resistance, shock resistance, stagger effect. Like, you're getting all this stuff when you're reinforcing yourself. And it's going to be crucial for you and your teammates to have this if you want to run this setup. 15% hive skill haste per skill tier, which is great. That's 15% high skill haste for me, which is going to be helping my skills come back faster. Now, whenever I detonate my hive, it's going to refresh my skills, including my teammate's skill. This is additional buff that we're giving our team. Now, it says refreshes your skills cooldown and grants overcharge for 15 seconds. That's another form of overcharge, right? If at skill tier 6, this effect also applies to allies, right? Now, it also says here at the bottom, allies receiving this effect are unable to benefit from it again for 120 seconds. So, meaning I'll benefit from it, but my allies have to wait 120 seconds, which is perfectly fine because I can also overcharge with this set at any time for myself because it says here, hive or smart cover while at tier 6, having at least one ally agent in the range of your hive or smart cover for 4 seconds will grant overcharge for 15 seconds. There's a 40-second cooldown. So I'm constantly going to be overcharged. Combining that with future perfect, that's an additional overcharge that I can use if needed. That's going to overcharge my hive. It's going to overcharge my smart cover, which is great, right? And we also have fire grenades that we can throw out. We're going to have like 7 or 8 fire grenades that you can throw out to put those enemies or players underneath a status effect to allow your team to do more damage. And if you combine that with another talent, which is really good if you're going to be spamming fire, because I did not have it rolled on here. Now, if you combine it with sledgehammer, dealing damage with a grenade applies a mark on the target. Targets with mark will take 15% more damage to armor from the agent that applied the mark and have a negative 20% movement speed. Now, if you're going to be using this build in PvP, this is the talent to go for, especially if you're going to be a healer. Why? Because your teammates are going to do massive damage to anybody that's in front of them because of this talent. I believe we went over everything when it came to the build. We talked about the hive. We talked about the smart cover, including the chem launcher. So these things are optional. So it's entirely up to you how you choose to go about it. We talked about the BTSU, the efficient chest plate, and we explained the entire gear set for you guys to go over. And just, you can build it however you choose to. This is the blueprint, but this is the best way to run it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to smash that like button. And this is Badger signing out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Be breezy. I'm out.